Good evening. I'm Michael Ang, and you're watching the Manila Times News Prime. Today is August 18th. Our top story: the House of Representatives has started its deliberations on the proposed 2026 national budget. The proposed budget of 6.793 trillion pesos is the biggest in the country's history. House Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez says the House will thoroughly scrutinize the proposal. Under the Constitution, appropriation bills shall originate exclusively in the House, but the Senate may propose or concur with amendments. Members of the Development Budget Coordination Committee were the first to brief the House Committee on Appropriations. The committee is composed of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, the Department of Economy, Planning and Development, the Department of Finance, and the Department of Budget and Management. In other news, the Department of Justice, or DOJ, names Justice Undersecretary Jesse Andres as acting director of the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI. This follows the sudden resignation of Jaime Santiago as NBI chief. DOJ spokesman Miko Clavano IV says Santiago, who came from outside the bureau, brought in a proactive leadership style. However, Clavano explained that Santiago also faced resistance from some officials within the agency. He says Santiago feels it is more prudent to resign rather than allow disagreements to affect the institution or his name. Clavano stressed that Santiago's resignation should not be seen as politically motivated. More local news: the Senate has every intention to conduct mandatory random drug testing for all officials and employees of the upper chamber. This was the assurance made by Senate President Chis Escudero. He was responding to a letter from the Senate Minority Leader Tito Soto seeking mandatory random drug testing in the Senate. Escudero pointed out that last March 20, the Senate entered into a memorandum of agreement with the East Avenue Medical Center to facilitate the testing for all Senate officials and employees. However, there was a suggestion to resume the testing in the 20th Congress. Escudero explained many employees from the Senate in the 19th Congress might not be available because of the recent national and local elections. Meanwhile, actress Nadia Montenegro has resigned as Political Affairs Officer of Senator Robin Padilla. Padilla's office has received Montenegro's written explanation and resignation letter, which have been accepted. Montenegro's resignation followed reports of alleged marijuana use inside the Senate premises. A recent incident report by the Office of the Sergeant-at-Arms described an odor resembling marijuana in a restroom near the senator's extension offices. Montenegro insisted she did not smoke marijuana and that she only carries a vape, which may have caused the odor. And finally, P-pop girl group BINI has filed a criminal complaint over an edited video that fueled online attacks against the group. The unjust vexation complaint stems from the splicing of a 25-minute YouTube video featuring the group tasting and raining Filipino street food. Their lawyer, Georgie Alonso, says the edited 2-minute video only showed their negative reactions, completely changing the narrative. This, Alonso says, fueled online hate and bashing against BINI. For more news and information, read the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and LinkedIn, and be part of our communities on Viber, Telegram, WhatsApp, and Mastodon. That's all for now on the Manila Times News Prime. Remember to stay safe, stay informed, and stay connected. I'm Michael Ang. Good night.